Two families in mourning after an unthinkable series of events. Police have now arrested this man and charged him with aggravated murder for plowing his car. His son, a suspect in a crime, was shot and killed yesterday by a Cincinnati police officer.
The driver of the vehicle that hit and killed the deputy was the father of the man killed in an officer-involved shooting yesterday.
Now accused of killing a sheriff's deputy. Rodney Hinton allegedly rammed his car into that officer.
This father from Cincinnati, Ohio, got revenge and killed a police officer in just 24 hours after the cop shot and killed his son. And he did it in a planned-out surprise attack that nobody expected. Two families is now mourning the loss of two deceased victims in one day, and both sides believe that they were innocent. And now Cincinnati police is on high alert for the threat of more retaliation. Today, we're going to get into the strange and missing pieces in his son's death that made this father snap and go on a rampage, and what authorities in power are about to do to this man after this tragedy on both sides. Tap in as we look at the real-life consequences of the streets so that we don't fall for the traps of the streets, and hopefully we can save somebody's life. I'm your boy Kalibur. Let's get into it. On Friday, May 2nd at 10 a.m., this father, Rodney Hinton, and his family was horrified as they saw body cam footage of his son being killed the day before by police. And by 1 p.m. later that afternoon, Rodney crashed out and carried out his plan to get revenge.
The man accused of hitting and killing a Hamilton County deputy with his car yesterday is now being held without bond.
Police charged the father, Rodney, with aggravated murder just a couple of hours ago.
Driver of today's vehicle that struck a deputy as a family relationship with the 18-year-old that we shot yesterday.
The father of the 18-year-old who was shot and killed by Cincinnati police on Thursday was driving the car that hit and killed a deputy Friday afternoon. Rodney Hinton Jr. is now charged with aggravated murder for the deputy's death.
Medical! We need to shut down right now. Officer down, officer down.
In order to understand what's going on, we got to go back to the day Rodney's son was gunned down. On May 1st, Rodney's 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton, was shot, and only 6 seconds from the officer spotting him and a blurry body cam footage of an alleged car theft.
These East Price Hill condos Thursday morning. Cincinnati officers tracked down a stolen vehicle.
Cincinnati police say they got a report of a stolen vehicle at this condominium complex. When officers arrived, 4 men suspected in the theft got out of the vehicle and fled. One of the men was Ryan Hinton.
4 people get out and start running. In body cam footage released today, in just 6 seconds, police say 18-year-old Ryan Hinton aims his gun at officers.
He's got to go!
Police shoot and kill him.
The fact that the body cam footage was blurry and it was hard to see if the boy had a gun or not made people question if the shooting was justified or not. Cops showed an image of a gun that they found on the scene, but some people were still skeptical. But the father, Rodney, didn't take the life of the cop who actually shot his son. He decided to take vengeance out on any officer who wore a badge in the city. And the police officer that Rodney decided to target, unfortunately, had nothing to do with what happened to his son.
We now know that officer has been identified as Deputy Larry Henderson, a 33-year veteran. Henderson was notably not involved in Hinton's son's death.
On the afternoon of May 1st around 1 p.m., a sheriff's deputy named Larry Henderson, who was a well-respected 33-year veteran of the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, was directing traffic for the University of Cincinnati right before graduation. Officer Henderson was there to help keep students and families safe, and he was there simply doing his job when he was randomly attacked.
Today on MLK Drive, a deputy is working traffic control for UC graduation when a driver crashes into him. He was taken to University Hospital in critical condition. Hours later, the Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy dies.
Led by Hamilton County Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey and Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Thigi, dozens of uniformed personnel made their way from UCMC to a packed press conference to announce that the deputy hit by a car at this intersection had died.
I just can't express to you how sad, how incredibly sad we all are.
Hinton family says they are devastated for the family of the officer who was killed.
The officer was just out doing his job.
People are divided on how they feel about all this. One person said, violence begets violence. The son put himself at risk by committing a crime, then his father committed a crime, killing the officer who was doing his job to protect the public. There's no winners here. Another person said, not justifying this, but people are sick of police killing their loved ones. And another person said, this situation is sad on so many levels. The Hamilton County Police is deeply hurt by the loss of this well-respected sheriff's deputy who had nothing to do with the previous shooting.
Officers lined the streets as his body was taken from the hospital in a procession. At the coroner's office, brothers and sisters behind the badge hugged, mourned, stood with the man who died in the line of duty.
And when they arrested the father, countless police officers filled the room as Ryan's dad, Rodney, was being charged for murder. This father stood before a judge, seemingly accepting his fate for what was about to happen next.
Good morning, Mr. Hinton. Good morning. He said good morning, Judge. He's very soft. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Anything as to probable cause?
Your Honor, we'll waive probable cause this morning. I have submitted designations for John Kennedy and Timothy Bignell. They will be the attorneys of record handling Mr. Hinton's case. I'll be handling the arraignment this morning. Terrible charge that Mr. Hinton is facing. He has a risk, but he does not have a history, Judge. He has no felonies in his record. His risk assessment score was a 1. He has no juvenile record. He works at UDF. He's married. He's a father. He's a graduate of Purcell Marion now, but in the community at large. And we just ask the court to set a reasonable bond in light of everything.
Andy, you've given me pre-trial services.
The defendant stops his car. The defendant, in a way that was calculated and premeditated, lined up his car, deliberately accelerated his car, and purposely caused the death of an on-duty deputy sheriff.
So not a bond hearing request.
All right, no bond.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can hold him at no bond for 72 hours,
yes.
Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Listen, this whole situation is tragic on so many levels, and unfortunately, there are 2 families who are mourning the loss of 2 people who didn't have to die. They didn't have to lose their life. And unfortunately, this is an example of how the things and the actions that we take have a chain reaction of unfortunate situations that can ensue if we don't exercise wise judgment. My thoughts and prayers go out to the families of both Ryan Hinton and Officer Larry Henderson. Both of these guys did not have to lose their life. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is the consequences of that term, eye for eye. Because 2 people who didn't have to die just lost their life for nothing. For the most senseless reasons possible. Ohio and the city of Cincinnati is hurting right now. Families are hurting right now. And I would assume that with the cops being on high alert, it's dangerous out there right now. And this really goes to show how dangerous it is out here being a civilian and being a police officer. Because at the end of the day, it is every man's wish and desire to just make it home to your family. I think that this is just a situation that we all wish could have just been avoided. This is one of those situations that got to play out in court, and all we can do is really just pray for the people of Ohio, pray for the families who are victims in this tragedy of 2 people whose life was cut short and the consequences of violence. I hope that everybody can learn from this. I hope that anybody, if you have a teenager, I hope that you let them see these type of things, see these videos, and let them know, look, when you out there robbing people or doing any type of crime, stealing cars, whatever it is, if you risk your life for crime, you could lose your life in the process. But also the same goes as a sobering reminder of how police officers' life is also at risk, just doing a job, not even doing nothing to nobody. It's hard times right now. A lot of people are upset. Things are very hard. And we're going to wait and see what the prosecution, what the judge, what the states of Ohio does in the case of Rodney Hinton, this father who decided to get revenge on a police officer 24 hours after another police officer shot and killed his son's life. It's tragic, but y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation, man. What are your thoughts on this? What are y'all thoughts on the body cam footage, the 6 seconds that it took to shoot Rodney's son? What do y'all think about the father literally losing his mind and crashing out and taking the life of an innocent officer? What do y'all think about all the tensions and what's going on in the world right now? And what can we do to make things better? What can we do to get to a better place so that people aren't losing their life over nothing, man? I always try to give y'all my unbiased opinion. I try to keep it fair. My thoughts and condolences go out to both families in this situation. I'm gone.